Welcome to our channel. Today's video is all about the current state of the economy and how it may affect your investments. Stay tuned for some valuable insights and tips on how to navigate these uncertain times. During an appearance on CNN, I predicted the crash of 2008 and specifically pointed out that Lehman Brothers would collapse. When I made this statement to Wolf Blitzer, he seemed flustered, likely because it was taboo to make such bold claims on national television. Gene Chatsky, a representative of Wall Street who worked with mutual funds and 401k investments, commented that the financial elite did not want certain information to be publicized. She implied that the financial system relies on fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets. The origins of this financial instability stem from the City of London, Wall Street, and the derivatives markets. Long-term capital management and similar financial entities are responsible for some of the most significant market downturns in history. As we navigate through one of the roughest periods of humanity, the dollar is the primary issue in my perspective. The baby boomers are retiring, and the market is peaking just as China's economy is collapsing, and Europe is struggling. I'm concerned about what will happen to the baby boomers since they have had it easier than any generation before them. The more the government prints money, the less valuable the dollar, the loonie, the yen, or the peso becomes. This trend is not a positive sign, and I see it as a bet against our government. People who trusted their pensions will likely see them go bust, leading to the most massive financial bust in history. I'm not a fan of stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, or the process of taking nothing and turning it into a stock. I believe this practice is an inadequate representation of a company's value and financial stability. Instead, I prefer solid investments like gold, silver, and Bitcoin, especially given the current economic climate. The year 1971 marked a pivotal moment in financial history when President Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard, a monetary policy that had been in place since the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944. Simultaneously, Nixon opened a trade with China, resulting in the loss of numerous jobs in America. Adding to this financial shakeup, Nixon created the 401k, which has since been referred to as a fake pension plan, causing significant vulnerability for public servants, firefighters, school teachers, and countless others, like my poor dad. During this time, the prevalence of fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets became increasingly evident. Sadly, many people still depend on their pensions, but I fear they are in serious trouble. The largest pension fund in America is teetering on the brink of collapse, leaving many people without the financial security they have worked so hard to achieve. As an example, United Airlines employees have already experienced the painful effects of this reality. Furthermore, people who continue to save their money in fiat currency like the US dollar, yen, or peso may face significant financial challenges as the current economic climate makes it difficult for these currencies to retain their value. While I don't prefer gold or Bitcoin over each other, I remain distrustful of the government's financial policies. The government has been printing money rapidly, leading to insurmountable debt, widespread poverty, and an increase in unemployment rates. The Social Security and Medicare systems have already been struggling and will continue to do so in the future. In the past, only 20% of the budget went to entitlements. Today, that figure has risen to a startling 75%. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, among other politicians, have advocated for the government to take better care of their citizens, but the feasibility of this is unclear. Unfortunately, the current financial system is failing, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the warning signs. Homelessness rates are skyrocketing, and the government must try to print more money to try to stabilize the economy. Unfortunately, this will likely lead to even more economic turmoil, further increasing the number of people vulnerable to financial ruin. It's alarming that many Americans seem to be unaware of the impending financial crisis that's about to hit. However, the solution lies within oneself, and it takes a willingness to study the relevant resources and understand the source of one's revenue, as well as the concept of party risk. For instance, if you own Amazon, the counterparty is Jeff Bezos. If you own gold, the counterparty is the gold itself. And if you own Bitcoin, the counterparty is the network and blockchain. It's essential to consider these factors when making investment decisions. Despite the uncertain future, I remain optimistic and continue to invest in my startups instead of stocks. I have more control over the board and other aspects of my company in this way. However, everything we discuss, such as Wall Street, the Fed, pensions, and government, is interconnected and stems from the same underlying problems. Unfortunately, there is no easy solution to the current financial crisis. even investments like gold, silver, and Bitcoin may not be sufficient during a market crash or depression, which is imminent. It's crucial to remember that these investments may crash, not because they're inherently bad, but because of a short squeeze or a liquidity crisis. People need cash to pay their bills, leading them to sell the most liquid assets they own. Therefore, it's important to be aware that markets can go up and down, and investors must be ready for anything. The key to surviving the coming financial storm is to be knowledgeable and prepared for any eventuality. The current economic climate is dire, and it's possible that we may soon experience a depression, which could ultimately lead to a revolution. During a depression, job loss is rampant, and the government often resorts to printing more money to try to alleviate the situation. This is precisely what occurred when Fauci shut down the US economy, which had a ripple effect on the global economy. Moreover, America is currently facing a mountain of debt, including massive student and consumer loan debt. The stock market is based on debt, and when the debt to GDP ratio reaches 90%, it's considered optimal, with each dollar borrowed contributing to a 10% increase in economic growth. However, the current debt to GDP ratio is at 140%, meaning that the economy cannot sustain any further growth. This situation is precarious and indicates a looming financial crisis. Whenever I speak to large groups of people, I'm often told that my predictions are risky. However, I believe that my actions are not risky for me, but for others who are not willing to study and learn. I understand that taking risks requires a considerable amount of research and preparation, which is why I encourage people to study and practice. Of course, if you're not interested in studying and practicing, you can always follow the traditional Wall Street advice of investing in 401ks, mutual funds, and ETFs. However, these are what I refer to as fake assets, since they only serve to enrich Wall Street and the City of London. The key is to follow the money and observe where the cash is flowing. As the economic situation becomes more dire, it's critical to remain informed and prepared. Investing in traditional assets like mutual funds and ETFs may not be sufficient to weather the storm. Instead, it's essential to study and practice investing, taking calculated risks that are well informed and researched. It's also important to keep an eye where the money is flowing to get a sense of how the market is shifting. The current economic climate is precarious and a depression may be imminent. However, through careful study and preparation, it's possible to weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Traditional investments may not be sufficient during this time, and it's crucial to stay informed and aware of the latest market trends. The key is to take calculated risks, study the markets, and follow the money. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you like what you saw, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great content like this. If you have any feedback or suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers and are always looking for ways to improve. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.